Not all of tech jobs are created the same, and some of the jobs pay more than others. And if you're just looking to start your career in tech, you probably want to know which field pays the most so you can get the best return of investment on your time by choosing the correct skill in the beginning. In this video, I'm going to go over the highest paying skills, but I'm going to start out at the lowest paying, the F tier, and I'm going to go to the highest paying, the S tier. The way that I rank these is it's just number one, it's based on my experience of working in the field. Number two, it's based on the salaries of each one. And number three, it's based on the future demand of these roles. Let's start with the F tier. These are lower paid with okay demand. The first one is the help desk or the IT support. So there's also an entry level role, but makes sense that this gets paid less. But essentially, you're going to be the front line support and do basic computer and networking troubleshooting. You're going to have great customer service. You're going to be answering the phone a lot. Hello, how can I help you? You're going to need to know basic familiarity with networking skills and all of that. The next lowest paying tech career is going to be basic graphic design. So this is going on the F tier, and it's because it's so competitive and the pay is pretty basic. You need proficiency in Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, basic understanding of design and typography, and you need the ability to create simple web graphics. And with ChatGPT, I see this becoming even more lower paid and even more competitive. The next F tier is content writing and management. Now, this one is basically you need basic writing and editing skills, basic understanding of SEO, and ability to produce and manage web content. This pays around $40,000 to $70,000 in the US. And with ChatGPT, this is going to become more competitive and the rates are going to get even lower. So it's going on my F tier. The next role is desktop support. So desktop support is maybe a step higher than the help desk. But essentially, you're going to be helping end users with the problems that they're having with their computers. This pays around $45,000 to like $70,000. And you're going to need a broad knowledge of different operating systems, how to troubleshoot problems with printers. You're going to need to understand customer service. This has a steady demand. I wouldn't really say it's growing at rapid speeds, but it is essential in maintaining IT systems at businesses. So it falls under maintenance, but it is a little bit better paid than the help desk, so this is going in D tier. The next role on this list is digital marketing. Digital marketing is someone who knows media marketing and content creation along with SEO, email marketing, and this has extremely high demand, an average rate of increase, and also it pays around $50,000 to $90,000. The next role is web development. So these are called front end. This is front end, so things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And you'll probably need to know basic knowledge of SEO and web performance optimization for SEO to reduce that bounce rate. This has pretty steady demand. It's not increasing rapidly. This pays around $60,000 to $100,000. You don't need a degree to get started in this, and so this is going on my D tier. The next role is UI and UX design. So this is essentially where you're going to create applications in the web experience for someone and design that web experience someone goes through to hopefully make more sales or have a better experience. You're going to need to know design, knowledge of front end development such as HTML and CSS. You're also going to need to know responsive design and storytelling and wireframing and prototyping. If you're a little bit more creative and maybe you were thinking about graphic design, maybe a UI UX designer position is a little bit better. The pay is $70,000 to $130,000+ in your career. It has pretty consistent demand, and in tech, e-commerce, this is extremely hot type of skill to get. This is going in my B tier. It does have growing demand and it's paid pretty well. It's a little bit competitive, especially if you are new to the field, but don't let that discourage you. It does have a growing demand. The next one is DevOps expertise. These are operational people who learn development or developers who learn operations, but essentially you're going to really need to know infrastructure as code in the cloud and a basic scripting and automation tool like Python or Bash. This pays pretty well. Like you could make 90,000 up to 200,000 if you're really good and you really learn those cloud technologies. It has a growing demand, a strong base. You can get paid pretty decently, but there's not as many roles as some of those higher tiers that I'm about to go through. So this is going to go on the C tier. The next role that I don't hear a lot, which I actually find super interesting to dig deeper into, is the Internet of Things development. So everything is going to become an Internet of Things. So your microwave, your refrigerator, maybe even your cups. You can monitor the temperature of a cup. I'm not sure why no one has done that before. Maybe your lamps. But the need for knowing IoT and IoT technologies is an experience with those sensors and microcontrollers is going to explode. Also, if you understand cloud IoT services, because most of these devices are connected to the cloud, you will never be without a job. So this pays 80,000 to 130,000 and above in healthcare and smart cities. In manufacturing, it's extremely big. And so this is solidly planned with growing demand. And so it is going in my B tier. The next one on my list is governance, risk, and compliance. Now, this technically falls underneath cybersecurity, except it's not technical. So there's no coding that you need to know. You don't really need to be very technical to do this role. So I put it in a separate category because it still does follow underneath tech. But basically, you need to ensure that companies are in compliance with the rules and regulations that are placed. Or you have to create those rules and regulations and policies and put those into place and then assess the risk that everything has. So you're going to need knowledge of different compliance frameworks like HIPAA or GDPR. You're also going to need risk assessment and management skills. You're going to need proficiency in GRC software and tools. This can pay pretty well, especially for a non-technical tech role. You're looking at probably 85,000 plus to 400,000 as a chief information security officer, which is a lot of GRC. This is critical, and every organization and business needs a GRC professional because if they're not in compliance with all of these regulations and rules, then you can get fined an insane amount of money. And also, it is often shunned by people who work in the technical community, like in IT. And so there's not as much competition for these roles as there is some of the other roles on this list. And so because of that, it's going on my A tier. This is highly valued and it's going to grow a lot and it's extremely well paid with not a lot of competition. The next role is very popular, is a data science and big data analytics. So here you're going to be working a lot with databases. You're going to need to know basic programming in Python and SQL, machine learning and statistical analysis, big data technologies, and these data analytics roles, especially with AI, are going to increase extremely rapidly. Very strong demand that are extremely high paid with limited competition. This is going on my A tier. The next role is the career that I work in. It's cybersecurity. So cybersecurity can mean a lot of things. It could be network security. It could mean ethical hacking, cloud security, governance, risk, and compliance. But essentially, everything in the tech industry needs to be secured. And so think about everything that exists from IoT devices to web applications to the cloud to the networks, data centers. All of those need to be secured. And so that is what cybersecurity is. This cybersecurity is growing extremely rapidly, especially within the last 2 years. Governments have been hiring insanely. The government even created its own cybersecurity department, CISA, and so this is going to become more and more important in the future years. Also, there's a huge skill shortage of people who are familiar with security and want to work in security, and so this is a highly valued and an extremely well-paid skill, and so it is going on my A tier. Also, if you're interested in starting your cybersecurity career, I do have a free masterclass that will walk you through step by step on starting your cybersecurity career below. It is in the description, so you can get started right now. Now, here's the next role is cloud architecture. So here you're going to design the cloud systems and then make sure that they are number one, they're secure, they're utilizing proper design, they have zero trust implemented, you have proper procedures in place for disaster recovery. Now, this is an extremely rare skill and a very difficult skill to acquire because you have to have such wide knowledge of everything, not an entry level tech role. And you need to know a lot about like automation and Terraform and everything of that sort. And so this is going to have a very high demand with extremely low competition. Now, it is a little difficult to get, but if you are able to acquire those skills to go into architecture as quickly as possible, you can assure yourself that you're not going to have that much competition and you're going to get paid above $150,000 for a role that's probably remote. And so, because of this is going on my elite high paying skills, the S tier. Those are my highest paying tech skills. If you're wondering about one that I didn't mention, go ahead and ask below in the comments. And also, I do have that free cybersecurity masterclass that shows you how to upgrade your career into cybersecurity. So go ahead and go to that free link below, and I'll see you there. Bye.